As the show progresses throughout today, we are now getting the first images of Trump and Putin at their meeting in Alaska. And let me just say, if we're going to get a preview of what's going to come of this meeting, we already have some damning sights and sounds. And that's what I want to show to you. I already laid out sort of the groundwork for my thoughts on this. You can reference that if you're watching these individually on the channel in our last segment. But Putin was already asked twice by reporters, will you stop the killing of civilians? The intentional, overt slaughtering of civilians to terrorize Ukrainians into getting your way. And I'll show you this first one as the press, I guess, right as they were sitting down to start their meeting, the press was being rushed out. They were allowed to get some initial images and they're being rushed out, leave. And as one of them is being pushed out, they shout that question at Putin. And look at the way that Aaron Rupar said it was, check out the smirk on Putin's face in the latter part of this clip. He's loving this. And again, if you're just stumbling across this, that's the fear here. That for him, given everything we've seen with him, there's no interest in lasting peace, but how to manipulate Trump. And he's already being given this huge global show of support, even if MAGA doesn't want to interpret it that way, support by Trump. And I'll give you some of the images that reaffirm that in a second. But first, here's this clip I referenced.
Just go up. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, press. 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 Let's go. Thank you, press. Thank you, press. Thank you, press. Let's go. Come on, guys.
Come on, guys. Let's go. Let's go.
Thank you, press.
Let's go.
Thank you, press. Thank you, press. Thank you, press.
Let's go. Let's go.
Thank you, press.
My gosh, it's not, what is it? Why are they acting that? Let's get out of here. Rah. So Putin there's an even more stunning video, but there is going like sort of smirking, and then he does the like shouting gesture, and you can't really hear what he's saying, but he's kind of responding to that reporter. But then this one, right as they met on the tarmac, look at this.
President Putin, will you stop killing civilians?
He goes, think about at the beginning of a meeting like this, where does he even want us to believe this? Supposedly he's interested in a peace deal, which every single time he says that, he just uses that to leverage Trump into causing the war to be even worse. But he gets asked, will you stop the massacring of civilians? And he goes, I'm trying to describe for our podcast listeners, picture him standing next to Trump, they're shaking hands, someone asks that, and then he does like a cutesy smirk and goes, and a shrug, the smirk and a shrug, and goes, and kind of like grabs his ear. Like it's a joke. Pretty catastrophic beginning, I would say. Not to mention, it's never good when Putin's smiling like this.
Because he's getting a picture greeted by the President of the United States on U.S. soil after more than...
Look at that. What the heck? So they landed, they shook hands, Putin and Trump both got into Trump's car, and they're chit-chatting. And Putin is laughing it up.
3 years of being a pariah in the world for invading a democracy in Europe. Of this.
He's so happy. Literally the red carpet rolled out for him. Is he happy because finally he gets to agree to peace? That's not my speculation. But instead, you heard John King sort of over that video talking about how Putin, you don't think this, but Putin does care a lot about being a part of the global community. And he's being pulled back into it with this on U.S. soil before he's shown any interest in any steps towards peace. A photo was posted of his smile, and Tim Miller said, anytime you make Putin this happy, you're effing up. Now, Ben Meiselas just posted a couple photos of Trump's BFFs, And podcast listeners, it's Epstein and Putin. A good track record. Putin, what a wonderful guy. Such a good guy. Jeffrey, he was my best friend. Wow, Diddy, such a good guy. Etc. Now, this is just weird. What do we do? Okay, even if you're making the argument, Trump has to do this meeting and somehow it's going to lead to lasting peace despite all the reasons I've explained before. Do we need the clapping? Do we need Trump to be clapping for Putin, the war criminal, the reason that so many people have died, the singular reason that this war continues on? Look at this as Putin's walking up on the red carpet. Trump's clapping. What are we clapping for? Do you remember when he screamed at Zelensky in the Oval Office? So the country that's being invaded and wants peace gets screamed, shouted at. The guy leading the country who's causing all of this bloodshed gets clapped. Gets clapped for. And you see they're immediately giggling and holding hands or shaking hands. And then you have this news from Caitlin Collins.
Which is that one-on-one meeting that we were expecting to happen between President Trump and President Putin, that Caroline Leavitt confirmed to me the other day was the plan going forward, is now no longer happening. There is no longer going to be a one-on-one. And what we are told by a White House official is that this will now be a 3-on-3, meaning 3 members of the U.S. delegation and 3 members of the Russian delegation as well.
Okay, that's actually good news. Just Trump being alone with Putin and then not having... It's not that Rubio and Witkoff, I think it's Trump, Rubio, and Witkoff aren't going to all be willing to lie about what happened if they want to, but having 3 people is better than one-on-one. Or one time Trump sat down just with Putin and his Russian interpreter, but Trump didn't have his own interpreter, which is not great. This was the video of them. You could just show Jaden of Trump coming down, then Putin coming down. And then I did see someone posted a video and Trump really struggled to walk in a straight line. So that's just a side note. This was them standing up there. You saw it. I don't know. Well, I saw Achilles' voice. That's silly. And John Favreau said different vibes with a photo of Zelensky and Trump versus the video of Trump greeting Putin. Pretty jarring indeed. Now, not everyone is focused on the elements of this that we are. Benny Johnson is focused on how Trump is doing alpha things.
What's up, guys? Benny?
Putin was greeted, Benny Johnson says, with the iconic alpha handshake from Trump. So alpha. If he's so alpha, why is it supposedly, even though we don't believe this story, these handshakes are causing him to get bruised hands? I don't see Macron. I don't see Macron with a bruised hand after handshakes, but Trump apparently does. Then Brian Tyler Cohen posted, Trump has called Norwegian officials to tell them he wants the Nobel Peace Prize while threatening to tariff the country. So that's also something that Trump is preoccupied with. We'll continue with these breaking news updates as this highly consequential summit progresses today.